I'm looking at these boxes and I believe I'm seeing a specification that I have not seen before. Primarily on this box here, 180 watt thunder charge. This is gonna be a fun thing to test out. I'm gonna just do this. We're gonna look at the specs. All right, the Zero Ultra, 180 watt fast charging, 200 megapixel OIS ultra resolution primary camera, 3D curved 120 hertz AMOLED display, MediaTek Dimensity 920. Now, if I go over to the 020, it has a 60 megapixel OIS front-facing camera, which apparently is the industry's highest pixel count on a front-facing camera. It has a 108 megapixel rear camera, Helio G99 processor, 6.7 inch FHD plus 45 watt supercharge paired to the 180 watt on the Ultra. The battery is 4,500 milliamp hours across both. The screen is ever so slightly larger on the Ultra model, 6.8 inch FHD plus. This one here is glitter gold. There's also green fantasy available and space gray. Oh, and if you go for the Ultra model, it's either Genesis Noir or this Cost Light Silver. Let's talk a little bit about storage, 256, and then RAM 8 plus 5 gigabytes, total of 13 gigs. I can't remember, did we ever charge anything at 180 watts? Oh, wow. This is a kind of a psychedelic pattern on the back here. And you can feel the texture of those waves when you touch it. It's silvery white, but it does change a little bit depending on the reflection of the light. There you can see your giant 200 megapixel sensor f1.97 to f2.4 ultra camera. It has this waterfall design for the display, power switch, volume rocker, and the front-facing camera in this case is dead center hole punch. Bottom of the device, SIM tray, Type-C connector, looks like a speaker unit there. Also inside the package, 180 watt thunder charge, Explore Beyond, some cash, some X Club Gold Coin Bank. What is this? A limited edition animated NFT. Win ultra rare special edition NFT. Scan the code. All NFTs are obtained by random draw on the Infinix global website. NFT in the box. Extras. SIM tool. Little clear case to get you up and running. Nice little bonus so you have some protection right out of the gate. And the accessories continue. Type-C to mini jack for audio, Type-C to C for charging, and how about a Type-C headset with microphone? Check out this beast, 180 watt. Thunder charge. I need a sound effect. I'm gonna need a sound effect at this moment for the thunder charge. 180 watt, holy cow. Here's the key with these things. They're so capable at this point and portable, you don't need another power brick for any of your other devices. This is it. This just becomes your power brick. It's your power brick for laptops, tablets, obviously this phone, which is capable of charging at this speed. You're really getting a bonus in the package when you're getting a power brick with this degree of capability. We will be checking the charge animation and we will be watching the charge go up in real time in a short moment. Now we have another world record and a much different design. So over here, we're talking about crazy charging and other flagship type specifications. And then over here, we're talking about a ton of megapixels on the front facing camera for people who are super into their selfies. A much different color here, some sort of sunset purple peach thing going on depending on that reflection. Once again, we have a little bit of Zero branding there. The main difference is kind of the feel, a little bit more flagship premium feel over here, although some people really like the flat edge design on a phone. I guess gives you a little more to grip onto as opposed to this super slender waterfall effect on this guy. Either way, volume rocker above there, then down on the bottom, Type-C connector, as well as an analog audio out. So you don't need to use an adapter if you want to use an analog headset. Once again, a case to get you up and running. I see the X Club Gold Cache. I do not see an NFT. SIM tool, Type-C to A for the charger. A headset once again. This one terminates in a mini jack connection point, which makes sense considering we have that port on this phone. Over here, we're getting a 45 watt, slightly smaller in scale, but it's not thunder charge, so it's nowhere near as exciting. However, 45 watt, still pretty good. I can tell you right now, holding this phone with this texture on the back, a little bit satisfying. Some glass, it's a little cool to the touch, does give you that premium feel. That gives you a look at the front of the devices. You can see we have a hole punch style, much slimmer, more slender bezel around the edge comparatively. For my eyeballs, the display on the Ultra looks nicer. Keep in mind, it is also 120 hertz capable. It's in an automatic mode by default. Of course, we can lock 120, this guy, and we can lock 90 on this one. The downside there is battery life or battery consumption, but I don't care. I prefer the fast refresh. You can leave the dynamic mode for day-to-day use. It'll aim to do the best of both. Why don't we just plug this in right now? Let's get this out of the way. The elephant in the room. The 180 watt Thunder Charge. Ooh, check it out. Thunder Charge 180 watt going up in real time. You'll love to see it in real time. Here we go. Wham. Incredible. 32. Watch, it's gonna hit 33. There's 33. I'm gonna leave it for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 34. Like 5, 6 seconds per percentage point. 35. 1, 2, 30. It's called Thunder Charge, Mo. Have you ever heard of it? It's called Thunder Charge. We've come a long way with charging. I'll tell you that right now. What does this mean for the general public? Well, it means the average person is a little bit less paranoid about charging their device every single night, because guess what? If you forget, it's no big deal. Guess what? You got a big trip coming up, no big deal. You plug in while you're brushing your teeth and you get yourself 10 percentage points while you're brushing your teeth. Mo, don't look at me like that. I'm not exaggerating here. This is incredible stuff. I mean, it's phones today, tomorrow it's electric vehicles and so forth. Let's not understate the significance. We're at 44%. I've still been talking, what is it, 3-4 sentences later. You see, the pace continues as we go up here, but the stated time was 12 minutes for 0 to 100. And as you know, with these type of batteries, this technology, the fastest part tends to be at the beginning, the first 50%. 45 watt is still pretty competitive, especially at this price point, but 180 watts, no goofing, no goofing. Now, even though this is a 6.8-inch display, one of the advantages of having this waterfall design is it ends up feeling smaller than it is. Today, I got to briefly test it out. It was a 10-minute demo, but it was long enough for me to snap photos, launch some apps. So we have speaker unit, and we have speaker unit, which is quite loud. This grill is providing a little bit more low end, and this is a little bit more dialogue, human voice frequency. When I hear you and Mo talking about value hacks, I feel I'm on the outside looking in. Yeah. I'm on the outside looking in. You know what I'm talking about, Mo? It makes it feel like the video just extends even beyond the edge of the phone. So the bezel just sort of melts away or drips away over the waterfall. That's the concept. Let's boot up this camera, 200 megapixels. 200 megapixels. Please hold your phone steadily. Please be steady here. We were talking about a lot of megapixels. Obviously, with 200 megapixels, you have tremendous flexibility with reframing and cropping. But you know what else you have? Enormous file sizes. So it comes at the cost of having enormous files. You don't need it most of the time. You can turn it off. 1x. 0.6, 2x. This is a better representation. 2x triggered portrait, ultra wide, fit a lot more in the frame. So those are your two ends of the spectrum. And then your standard camera, which is going to be the best quality of the bunch. As far as video is concerned, we can go up to 4K. This is a test of the 4K 30 frame video recording on the Infinix Zero Ultra. Ooh, check out the texture on the handle. Last but certainly not least, let's flip this camera around for a little, looking sharp. I don't see a beauty mode by default. I don't think. Look at Jack back there. What's he doing over there? Got his face. 3, 2, 1. This one was 32 megapixel selfie camera. The other one is the one that has a 60 megapixel, which I don't think is a thing I've ever tested on a front-facing camera. I just noticed something about the selfie mode. I was just goofing around with it a little bit. And you know I'm always all about the beard hair test where I'm like, wait a sec, I want to count those hairs. I'm looking for that sharpness and contrast. Just disabled the automatic HDR. And it gave me a little bit more of what I was looking for. I'll just do one more for you. Satisfactory. Satisfaction guaranteed. However, I feel like since we're at this moment in the video, I should pull out this 60 megapixel one because there's not too many opportunities to take 60 megapixel front-facing camera shot. Disable the HDR on the selfie. I'm gonna flip this around. This is a 60 megapixel selfie. What is going on? Let's try this. It's almost looking like a rear-facing camera. Yeah, beard hairs, eyebrow hairs, skin pores, like all the weirdness, all the aging. Lovely. Even with this backlight up top, even more beard hairs on here. So it is an odd wave that they've segmented these out. That's the flagship, but this has the nutty front-facing camera. I guess you gotta pick your priorities. All in all, this one is more exciting to me because it has the 180 watt fast charging. This one has this crazy selfie camera, but I don't really take that many selfies. You gotta pick your priorities. As I said, this one also feels a little bit more premium, but they are at different price points. So 2 new options from Infinix. I gotta do that. I gotta just do that 180 watt charging one more time. Just look at this. Just watch closely. Look at that. Real time. I mean, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65% battery, 70,